Welcome everyone to round 9 of FRL. Today we are here at Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. About to start qualifying and remembering a bit about last week's race. We had Henry Rogers as winner last weekend. And also having to say that France has some similarities with Canada, especially about track limit, which both tracks are very difficult to keep on the right track limit, so we'll see many people getting penalties. So the driver with the ability of avoiding all those penalties will be the one that may be at top today. We will see what happens now. We are going into qualifying. We already have some commentaries in the box from David Gonzalez saying come on Womack, so we have a Womack's fan on the commentary section, so thanks for the support on Womack. Thank you for being with us today. I'm here with my friend Zach, so please say hello.
Hello everyone and welcome to round 9, and as you said David, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, but also a lot of similarities between Canada and Paul Ricard. They are very tricky circuits to keep the car on the track. Obviously with the nature and the extent of the runoff, it is very difficult to keep two wheels on the track, but and you know, as you say, the one that conquers it, the one that keeps themselves clean, are going to be the one that comes out on top, and just got to stay consistent. Very overcast for today's quali. Maybe we could see maybe a bit of rain going on towards the later stage, so maybe everyone wants to get on circuit really quickly.
We already see some drivers coming out of the pit lane. The driver leading all the field is now Iron Apple. He's gonna try to go for that first shot. Again, very difficult track to keep in the track limit, so he'll have to be very careful to at the same time do a fast lap, but also not extend the track limits, because that would completely destroy his lap. He would get his flying lap invalidated. After him follows Sadok, then comes the Red Bull of AA Gaming, now championship leader. Then following the Williams of Rostorm, who says he usually is getting P2. We'll see if finally today he doesn't end in that eternal P2 for him, as he has said. My poll, as we were talking in the commentary and the Discord server, I was going for the win today again for Henry Rogers, then again for Rostorm as P2, and Ash finally a P3. So what do you think, Zach? What would be your poll for today?
In terms of time, I reckon we can definitely see maybe some high 28s, maybe some low 28s, who knows. But in terms of who's on pole, it could be anyone. We've seen such close qualifying since the two divisions merged a couple of weeks ago in Monaco, and it's just been so close between everyone. So it could be Iron Apple, it could be Rogers, could be Ross, could be Ash. I'm not going to be one to stage a bet, because honestly it could be either the four, and I'm sure we're going to see a very close qualifying today.
Now, following Iron Apple into finishing that sector 2, that big straight Paul Ricard has, onto the other straight, 49.6 for him. Then Sadok, who comes behind, does a very slow lap time for Sadok, so definitely that's not going to count. We're going to follow Rostorm now, who is also finishing that sector 2. Other driver we know who's very fast. There he goes, 50.2, so definitely not going as fast as Iron Apple is going now. Back with Iron Apple, going to cross the finish line. Last corner for him, using almost everything of his ERS. There he goes, 129.3. Now with Rostorm, who's also finishing his lap. And that's sector 3 with plenty of corners to do. Very slow sector at this track. AA Gaming is into P1 now, 1:10 faster than Iron Apple's time. Rostorm now into the finish line. What time is he going to do? It's P3, very far behind, 6/10 behind AA Gaming's time, who started very strong this qualifying, already defeating Iron Apple, a driver we know who's very fast Eckhout completes a flying lap 1:31.2, very slow time even for medium tires. I have to say that's very slow lap time.
Yeah, I mean a 31, not really something you want to be aiming for. You definitely want to be sub 30 at the very least. You know, that seems to be the benchmark today. It seems AA Gaming, Apple and Rostorm have all managed that. You have to give him credit though, he is on the mediums, but still over, what would that be? That'd be about a second and a half off, as Teague does go quickest at 1:28.2, first into the 28s at a very quick time out of the gate. But yeah, BGR not having the best today, is maybe going to try and improve on that time.
Now we are going on board with Ash. Rogers now is into P2, only 30 thousandths of a second slower than Teague's time. We are going on board with Ash, Baku's winner. There he goes into P5. Not very good lap time by him, but he's very close from what Iron Apple has done. Not much difference actually between drivers. It's actually from Teague to Ash, it's 5 tenths, so top 5 very close between each other. 5 tenths from first to 5th place, then Elge 6 tenths behind, and Rostorm, very slow lap time by Rostorm compared to the top 5 drivers. Then still waiting for many other guys to finish a flying lap. Womax, we're on board with him, who's about to start his flying lap. We got one of his fans on the commentary section, so we are going to please him, going on a flying lap with him. Oh, and he got blocked there. Contact by Womax there. Don't know if you saw that, Zach, but some Alfa Romeo came out of the pit lane and just made contact with Womax, damaging his front wing and ruining completely his flying lap.
Sorry about that, everyone. Just had a brief bit of technical difficulties, but I didn't actually quite catch what happened. But whatever happened, very unfortunate for the driver involved to have got involved in that. He's still got quite a while to get recovered from it though, so not all is lost. He currently sitting pole, only 3/100ths of a second quicker than Rogers in P2, and as I believe David was alluding to earlier, is very close between the top 6 even, 5 tenths covering them all, and Ash and Iron Apple separated by a mere 5/1000ths of a second. As I always say, it's literally about a blink of an eye, or a fraction of a blink of an eye, between the drivers, and you think how quick that is. It costs, that is everything in racing. That is, you know, an eternity to the drivers. Everything's more sort of slowed down in motion, even though they are travelling at 200 miles an hour. Sort of the symbolic resemblance is everything's slowed down. Time is much more crucial in these cars. Every little helps, every little get on the power that bit early, braking that meter earlier always goes a long way in helping. And David can agree that everything goes a long way. Maybe you know, one tick on the front wing or one change to the suspension, it goes a very long way in racing.
Yeah, every 10th you can win, every 1,000 you can win counts in this game, in this sport. As we see, Teague is on pole, provisional pole now by only 30 thousandths of a second, so very close between the top 5, as we have already said. Ash for some reason has gone into the medium tires. I really don't understand why, but well, that's his decision. Definitely not going to do a faster lap with those. So also having so close qualifying session may mean that we can have an interesting battle for the win today. Compared to, well, we've had plenty of boring races on real life on Paul Ricard. Remember the 2018 and the 2019 races, especially the 2019 race was pretty terrible. But here we see in online racing cars with equal pace, equal speed. And now John Fans is into P1 again by only 30 thousandths of a second. Very close between John Van Stick and Rogers now, as we were saying, every 1,000, every 10th counts here. And seems very exciting, as we may have a very close battle at the race, because drivers are just there very, very close between each other.
Yeah, exactly that. It is so close. Every little tiny bit of time can help. We've got Roger setting up a hot lap now. We'll go on board with him in the racing point. Currently says P3 and less than a tenth off pole. Just over half a tenth off pole position. Let's see if he can improve that. Coming into turn 1, you've got to use the track coming in. Brake just before the 50, go into 4th gear. Use the undulation of the track. Ride that curb over. AA goes pole with a 28.7. Very good time from him to put in provisional pole. But Roger's into the end of sector 1 through turn, I believe, 5 into 6. You just got to be so committed through here and end in sector 1 at 21.9, a tenth off his personal. That's not the best set from Roger. Still got a long way to keep it there, and he's backed off that lap, so must not be too convinced in his approach to improve. But Roger's, yeah, still not too far off pole, a tenth and a half off pole as it stands, because AA Gaming has smashed that out of the park by today's standards. He's gone above and beyond. 28.7 from him, and looking pretty good at AA Gaming's pace, then looking pretty good, David.
Yeah, AA Gaming looking very fast today, and Ash DNF the race. Well, yeah, AA Gaming on the last races has not been so at the pace at qualifying, but today completely different story. Wasn't expecting this actually, because of the what had happened on the last races, which we see him very far behind on qualifying. But today he's challenging for that pole position. We still have 7 more minutes remaining, but well, at the moment he's on provisional pole. Things may change in the coming minutes, but well, good step by him being on provisional pole at the moment. Then Rogers, we saw for some reason stopped his flying lap there. Many drivers on the pit lane now, so really looks nobody is actually on a flying lap, or almost nobody is. Where we are on board with Paulo Frost now, who is on a flying lap. He doesn't have a lap time, so maybe interesting to see what time will he do. Not looking so fast at the moment. It's 50.6. Yeah, definitely not going so fast as other drivers. We're on board with Womax now. Unfortunate contact with an Alfa Romeo when he started his previous flying lap. Now finishing that last corner, finishing his lap. We'll see finally what time can he do, what is he for today. And it will be 30.3, very slow lap time, but 1.6 behind the lead, so at least not so far we have to say, but yeah, far still, but not an exaggeration. Then Paulo Frost into P15, 2 seconds behind, and now the only driver without a lap time is Adam. And top guy still on the pit lane, so nothing to see from them at the moment. Oh well, we have Juventino on a flying lap. Now he's purple sector 2, not sure if that's really true. Proven 3 times at the moment, so that may place him on a P5 or a P6 maybe. We'll have to see what he will do on this final sector. That very slow sector with plenty of corners to do. There he goes into the final corners. Is he able to get that provisional pole now? Oh, he misses a bit there. Lost a bit of car there. Not sure if that maybe complicated a bit his flying lap. There he goes into the finish line. And it will be P6 as I was speculating. 3 tenths behind AA Gaming. Not bad by him. And again we see how close is the field now. P1 to P9, less than 5 tenths.
Incredibly close stuff between these guys, and honestly just delivering on previous standards, to be honest, because ever since the 2 divisions have merged, it's been so close between everyone. Every little tiny ounce of time can propel you a couple of positions. You can see the gaps between the drivers, only fractions upon fractions of a second, and it is so incredibly close. And the pace is so good. So honestly, I think we are in store for an incredible end to quali nonetheless, but also an incredible 20 or so laps ahead of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm most thinking about the race. I really hope we can have a great fight for the win today. We see last races, for example, at Canada, Rogers was very dominant. At Baku also, Ash was very dominant. So I really hope today we can see a very close battle for the win with more than 2 contenders. Why not? Plenty of guys fighting for the win would be amazing to see, and qualifying lets us dream with that because of how close it is. So I hope those dreams become true finally and we can have a great fight for the win today. So now only less than 3 minutes remaining, so drivers now starting to come out of the pit lane massively. We see Rogers out of the pit lane, Teak out of the pit lane, AA Gaming out of the pit lane, Iron Apple also out of the pit lane, and Adamas improving to P2. The guy we were missing a time with is now into P2, only 38 thousandths of a second behind AA Gaming. That's really crazy, and we have another contender now surprising everyone at the moment. But that may have been his final flying lap he will have. So that may be his last chance to fight for pole position, but greatly placing himself on P2, only 38,000 behind provisional pole sitter now AA Gaming. And we have a lot of surprises that may come on the coming 2 minutes of this qualifying. Now anything can happen, anything can surprise us now.
Exactly that. Closing stages now, last couple of laps. Adam with an absolute flyer there off his first lap, and that is incredible stuff to see. AA Gaming lining up a lap, looking to defend his pole position. He's got John Fans, Teague, Rogers and Fletch all out on their out laps, looking to conquer him and take his reign at pole position. 2 tenths between the top 6. Anything can happen. This can certainly come down to the wire, and this is going to be very interesting. AA Gaming, the first will be to cross the line. He'll be the first one to go onto his lap. The last lap of this session, he's set up, warming his tyres up, making sure he's got the energy to do so. Doesn't want to get caught in traffic. He's got a couple of cars in front of him there. I believe that is Teague setting up his lap. So the Ferrari currently sitting P4 and Rogers right in front of him. Looks like the tyrants up at front, all together on track, all wanting a bit of each other's slipstream, all wanting to follow each other and base it off. But we'll go on board with Rogers, the man who's been struggling to get a clean lap in, but when he does, he's been quick. Into turn 1, chuck it in, full commitment, chuck it in again for turn 2, use the undulating track to hook the car around and use that curve on the inside. Stay tight to the left hand side and bring it to the 50 board and down to 5th gear, down another couple of gears to get the rotation, ride that curve to keep it consistent in 2nd gear, 3rd gear to get the traction. Man, he's about just under a tenth of a second quick up on his time, and then through into turn 7, just a flat out left, easily flat and purple through sector 1. Very good sector 1 for Rogers. I believe someone has gone into P2. That is Iron Apple up into P2. It's just fractionally off AA Gaming, but coming into the chicane, you've got to chuck it in 4th gear, 2nd gear to get the rotation again. Use that curve on the inside to straight line the exit as much as you can. Try not to invalidate. How much is Rogers up on his time? And a bit up on his time. This is looking good. He's purple to the middle sector as well. This is what I mean. A 10th doesn't seem much, but it is so crucial. From 7th to 1st, this could be qualifying over. The checker flag is out. This is the final couple of corners for some people. How crucial this might be. This could be so close. And Rogers rounding off into the final sector. Got to keep so close to the right hand side through here, and then just full commitment into the last couple of corners. The penultimate corner, just got to hook around, keep it to the left hand side, brake as soon as you're straight, use that inside curve, just a little bit of a tap, DRS wide open and across the line. Is it going to be pole for Rogers? It's going to be very close if it is across the line. Yes, it is. A 27.8. He smashed that out of the park, did Rogers. 27.8, almost a second clear of anyone else. That was an amazing lap from Rogers.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all, and that may have finally killed our dreams of seeing a competitive race today. Maybe Rogers will just smash the rest of the field. I had some message from him at the Discord saying that he hated France. I suppose that was a complete lie because he's almost 1 second in front of P2 AA Gaming, so yeah. I think I have this. For some reason, when people say they hate something, some track, finally they end being a top there for some reason. Well, now Fletch and John fans have been proven to P2 and P3, but still half a second behind Rogers' time. So it will be Rogers who will be on pole position today, and our dreams of seeing a competitive race may have just ended now.
Yeah, exactly that. But never say never. He might have just put in a good lap. It might have been good. He was only a 10th up until the final sector. Might have just been all that time banked up in the final sector for him. But Fletch, also with a great lap up into P2. A8 Gaming couldn't improve upon his time and fell down to 4th. But you can just see Rogers' aside, everyone else has been so fractionally close. It's been so marginal, and every little bit of pace can help. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a massive shake-up at the checkered flag than we did today. But Rogers takes pole, 5/10 clear of Fletch, who also went into an incredible lap with a 28.3, with John Fans rounding off the top 3. A Game in P4, Iron Apple P5, Adam 6th, Huge P7, Teak P8, only a 1,000th slower, and Juvento in P9. BGR rounding off the top 10. Ross, Ash, Boss, Aragastavo, Salik, Paulo, Wumax rounding off the grid. This is going to be an incredible race, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm also still expecting to see a great race. Well, still only 5/10s, what separates P1 and P2. So yeah, we may have a great race today. We still don't know what the weather will be. Well, it seems very dark at the moment. I really hope maybe rain will come to make things more interesting. But I expect to see great fight at track. Drivers with similar pace fighting for that win today. That's what I hope. I think that's what you also hope, Zach. And we are about to go to the formation lap now. Well, my prediction before the race was that Rogers was going to win this one. So to win that, to be correcting my prediction, well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, a long race ahead. Could be anyone. It's been so close. Maybe Rogers' lap was a fluke. Maybe it is reminiscent of his pure and just outright pace. But 27 laps ahead of him, it could be difficult. And Fletcher's looking feisty as well. He's one to not give up a position easily. John Fans, AA Gaming, Iron Apple, Adam, all want a taste of victory. All want a taste of the sweet champagne they'll get on the podium, and everyone will be fighting so hard for it, especially when so much is at stake. Everything counts, everything matters. Even just that little bit of tiny bit of ERS can bank up and save you, can defend you from a position that it'll be so marginally close. And Fletch, John Fans, both going to be looking to attack Rogers off the line. Rogers just needs a good start, get his head down and go.
Also, check in the tire strategy. Everyone out of the top 10 has decided to go for the medium tires. This track degrades pretty much the tires. Oh, we see Womax doing spinning there. It's Binala for him. The formation lap. Lucky for him, it was the formation lap. Well, as I was saying, everyone out of the top 10 on the medium tires. Then Roger has the advantage that this track, P1 starts the side, has the corner for him, compared to other tracks, which P1 is at the opposite side of the corner. In this case, he has the corner to his left side. So it's more easy for him to defend that P1, even if he doesn't get a pretty good start.
Yeah, it is a short run. Sorry about that. It is a short run to T1, but yeah, it should be easy enough to defend.
Yeah, definitely it's easy to defend here, even if he gets not very good start. But I think he will get a good start. I don't think that he will get a Bottas start, if we could say that way.
Yeah, exactly that. He just needs to keep it clean. It is a short run to T1, not the longest in the world, such as the likes of Spain or even Russia. So it is a short run. just needs to keep it clean, get a good enough start. And turn 1 isn't the largest braking zone. That you do carry a lot of speed through such a tight corner, so a send up the inside probably won't be the best idea. But maybe if Fletcher gets a good launch, you know, it cuts back on itself. Turn 2 could be a good opportunity if he can stick his nose up the inside. I'm sure we'll see a bit of action into turn 1 and 2. Rogers just needs to keep his nose cool and keep it clean.
Okay, so we are finally about to start the race. Drivers are already formed on their spots to start finally this French Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Roger seems to have got a good start there. AA Gaming is into P3 now. Oh, and we see... Yeah, AA Gaming moves into P3 now, but now being attacked again by Iron Apple. Now it's Roger flying away, 1.1 second already. We see the fight between AA Gaming and Iron Apple, close to contact there, but AA Gaming wins the fight. Is into P3 now. Iron Apple into P4. Oh, and the driver who lost places there was John Fans, who's dropped 2 places into P5 now. Again, oh, we have a yellow flag and yellow flag accident. It's Ari Gustavo and Ash. Most probably both made contact. Ari Gustavo and Ash had some accident there at the start. Not big accident, but yeah, accident, lost a lot of time there. Rogers already flying away, 1.7 seconds in front of Flash, which are fighting now against his teammate AA Gaming and against Iron Apple. John Fans also keeping the train, and Tig 1.8 seconds behind, lost the train with them. 4-car train from P2 to P5. Rogers on his own world at the moment, 1.7 seconds in front. Then we have the other train, Tig in front of Adam, Eckott, Rostorm, and Juventino's gone into the pit lane. Definitely got wing damage. No other reason why he would go into the pit lane. So we're going to wait till DRS is enabled to see finally the serious attacks on this race. Rogers keeps extending his gap, 2.3 seconds. So he definitely doesn't hate France, as he was saying before the race started. His great pace now. Ash has stopped went into the hard tires. Paulo Frost into the medium tires, and Elge left the lobby. So unfortunate for him. Oh, and oh, I lost connection. Can you send me an invite, please? Don't know what happened, but many people had this problem actually. Zach, are you there? Zach, can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we're back the way. Here is John Fans and Iron Apple both going side by side. John Fans going around the outside cleanly with DRS. So DRS has been enabled for a couple of laps now, and Rogers is just flying away. I did miss what happened to AA Gaming. He had a bit of an off back down into P12. Unfortunately, put Iron Apple, who's looking to get the move done into this fast right-hander, but can't quite get the momentum and the speed to do so, unfortunately. But Fletch is chipping away at Rogers in front. He's slowly catching up, or is Rogers waiting up? It looks as though Rogers might be waiting up a little bit, might want a bit of a race. But Fletch definitely catching up a lot. AA Gaming back in, of course, and Fletch almost into the DRS range.
Yeah, so finally we are back after the unfortunate glitch. Some people were glitching out of the lobby. I missed a bit what's happening here, but looks Rogers keeping the lead, but he doesn't look too far in front of Flash, who is 1.6 behind only. Then Iron Apple seems to be pitting now. Don't know why. Okay, we're back at the race, so Flash now 1.5, I think, behind Rogers. Then we have the train between John Fan, Stick, Adam, Rostorm, and Ekot. All of them keeping the train. Then Boss Gohan comes a bit behind. Rogers now extending his advantage. Looking very fast there, but unfortunately I don't have the time here, the exact time. The game is still missing that. A bit of a glitch there, but we see that gap is quite big from Rogers to Flash. Then Tick attacking John fast. Tick went into the pit lane, gonna go for the undercut there. Still plenty of drivers to pit now. Top guys have not done so, except I think Iron Apple, the only one of the tops who has decided to go for a pit stop. Then AA Gaming, as we know, is back after a lag out.
Is definitely looking very close amongst people. Not the biggest of gaps in the world. Definitely still really close. We've got a couple of people going for a proactive strategy rather than the reactive strategy. Obviously, the likes of Teak and Iron going for the proactive strategy, going for the 2-stop. I believe they're onto the mediums, so I'm presuming that will be for 2 stops. AA Gaming still hasn't stopped, but has lost a lot of places because of that. We've got Rostorm, the back of Adam, still closing the gap, still putting the pressure on, and Rogers just extending his gap. We saw him wait up a little bit, get the gap to a second, but now he's already extended that to 3 seconds. Incredibly quick time from Rogers, and he's just flying away. But we've got Rostorm on the back of Adam, who's trying to close up to John Fans in front, but he's had a pretty poor exit off there, coming off turn 10, which is going to compromise his run all the way through there. But John Fans and Adam completely off to stretch these very long. So starting from P11 definitely isn't looking too bad, and looking very, very punchy despite being on the alternate strategy. So this is where the soft runners are coming in, and now the medium runners are extending their stint and going to overtake them. So the soft runners have got their work cut out for them to cut through the field.
Yeah, we'll see now what happens with the medium runners. They can extend their tires and try to go for the hards. One stop, then the other drivers the guys who have stopped, all of them have gone for the medium tires, so they are on a two-stop strategy definitely. So we'll see how this finally plays for them. Rostorm can go for the hard tires then, while Rogers, Iron Apple, all may go then for soft or mediums, but we'll have to make one more stop, then they will have to. Now, difference with the leader is Rogers is 15 seconds behind the Rostorm, so he'll have to shorten up that distance if he wants to have a real chance to keep that lead, because as we know he will have to stop again and Rostorm only has to stop once. He still hasn't stopped, so real distance between these guys would be 16 seconds.
Yeah, he is really pushing, and Rostorm, despite not having the best of qualifying, still pushing out in front and still doing very well. And as you say, 16 seconds nearly clear of the next soft runner of AA Gaming, who still hasn't hit, but still got some good pace. Teague with the fastest lap, and looking very quick, 33.0, quickest of anyone on a purple lap time. Currently sits P9, closing on Iron Apple though for P9. We've also got Rogers getting himself up the inside of AA Gaming. Big send, AA Gaming fighting it around the outside. It'll turn to the inside, but Rogers on the fresh tyres is going to claim that position with his outright speed, and AA Gaming left in vain. We've also got Teague closing on Iron Apple. This is for an effective P3 or 4, I believe, in after the pit stops have filtered themselves out, but he's got the closing speed. He's closing. Iron Apple to the inside, Teague to the inside, even deeper. Bit of tyre rubbing between the two. Fletch in the background looking to get involved, but Teague got the move done before the braking zone and cleanly up into P8 and an effective P3. Fletch with a big slide coming off the chicane and nearly losing it. Managed, but definitely going to be hurting his tyres a little bit there. And Rogers on a madness. He is flying through these mediums runner, and I'm sure we'll see him into the lead of the race very soon.
Yeah, well, he still has to clear 4 more drivers in front of him. He still is 15.7 seconds behind leader Rostorm at the moment, so we'll see if he can shorten that distance, or if he not, I think he will. He has demonstrated to have more pace than Rostorm has. And now AA Gaming is into the pit lane on lap 9. He extended a bit those soft tires. We'll see what tires is he going for now. He is now going to be on the hard tires, trying to go to the end of the race. I think that's the right strategy. Don't think 2 stops work really on this track, so maybe Roger has made a mistake there and trying to go on 2 stops. 15.1 the gap between him and Rostorm for the lead of the race. Lap 9, still long way to go, but anything can happen now.
Definitely.
Oh.
Go on.
Currently on track we have this train of Teague, Iron Apple, Fletch and Echoed a bit far, so this fight seems nice, since now race seems to be more of strategy than at fighting a track. So to check some fight at track, we have this battle between Teague and Iron Apple, which actually is for real position, as you said previously. Teague got the move done on Iron Apple, but Iron Apple definitely going to want to have another shot at Teague to regain his place. Ari Gustavo in front of them. He's on the medium tires. We'll see if he can keep those guys behind him or if he can't. Then Flash also getting closer into Iron Apple and Teague. All this is for track position. Real battle for track position here. Then Echoes has finally closed with them. Maybe Ari Gustavo is keeping all them behind, making them too close to each other. We'll see what happens when they come to the big straight. Teague trying to get the move done on Ari Gustavo, trying to clear him very fast. Again, checking the distance between Rogers and Rostorm. Now is reduced, gap reduced to 12.0 seconds. Roger has been flying there, shortening that distance with Raw Storm. Tick now on board with him. He's going to get the move down on Ari Gustavo. Ari Gustavo goes to the inside. Nothing he can do to defend from Tick's attack. Iron Apple is going to get through also. And Iron Apple is now having a look at Tick, but no, he can't. Unable to get the move done there. Again on board with Iron Apple, who's very, very close now on the slipstream of Tick, but not going for the move at the moment. Flash got through Ari Gustavo there. Ari Gustavo dropping a lot of position, but Ari Gustavo trying to defend from Flash there. At that very fast corner there. Echo's getting involved in the fight too. A bit of contact there, looks like. Echo is through and Flash has lost to Echo there. Not sure what actually happened there. Trying to go around the outside by Ari Gustavo, keeping the place there. Very good. Iron Apple finally got the move done on Tick, and he's behind now his teammate, 6 seconds behind, but finally gets that place back. Rogers now overtaking Sadok, and now only 11.2 seconds behind race leader Rostorm. Now Tick's going to have another chance again on Iron Apple. They are going to meet traffic from Sadok at any moment, but for now they are free. No traffic that can complicate their fight between each other. Now on board with Tick, who has 46% of ERS. Iron Apple has 30% of ERS, so Tick's much more ERS at the moment, but 6 cents behind, not going to be enough, and his teammate Echo on the soft tires has gone in front now of Tick. Echo goes into P7 of the race. Now going to have a look on Iron Apple. Faster compound of tire now. He must get the move done quickly and start pulling away to get his strategy done right as he would like to do so. Flash still, by the way, unable to overtake Ari Gustavo. Ari Gustavo is holding him very good, and Ari Gustavo still to make his stop. Flash definitely not going to be happy with this at all. But now he has another look. There he goes, trying to go down the inside, but Ari Gustavo still holding the place. Not enough speed for him to get the move done. Gonna have DRS open now. We'll see if now finally he can get the move done. Very, very close now. DRS open for Flash. Get the move done on Ari Gustavo. Ari Gustavo on the inside, covering very good from Flash. And now John Fan is going to have a look also there. Flash round the outside, a bit of contact with Ari Gustavo there, but finally gets the move done. And we are now with John Fans, who's gonna try to go, and Ari Gustavo is trying to go for the move again on Flash. Gonna have DRS now. So this race is getting very, very interesting now, and very hard fighting at the midfield there. And John Fans now gonna have the look at Ari Gustavo, and almost full ERS for this guy. Nothing Ari Gustavo can do against him. And probably gonna have a look at Flash also now, since he has plenty much more ERS than Flash does.
Looking very quick is he, and really is flying. But Ari Gustavo not pitting yet, only harming his own race. And there's Adam cleanly getting a good run off the chicane and past Ari Gustavo. But yeah, he's just fighting this so hard. He doesn't really need to. We've got Iron Apple on the back of BGR, so close between the two. BGR just managing to hang around the outside. Iron Apple needing to stay with him, because BGR on the soft tyre, on that alternate strategy, going for an interesting one. He's going to be quicker, naturally going to be quicker, but as those softs start to degrade, he's going to slowly start to fall off the pace, and Iron Apple becoming the first one to launch the counter attack on him in DRS. Is it enough into turn one? Doesn't look like he's going to be close enough. He's in sort of he's sandwiched between the two Ferraris, and sort of a racing point sandwich amongst Ferrari bred between the two. But looking so close between everyone. Maybe BGR's plan is to back him up into Teak, because Teak is still there, putting the offensive on, coming through into turn 4, I do believe. And BGR still putting on a good show. Goes a bit wide there, so Iron Apple going to try and capitalise off that. He's got the DRS, he's got the ERS. Is he going to be enough? Setting up the good little switchback manoeuvre to get the best exit he can onto the straight. DRS enabled, ERS enabled. He's cloning BGR to the inside. isn't going to be enough, all in vain, because Iron Apple going to shoot past and up into P5. Pretty pointless defending from BGR, in all honesty. Iron Apple was coming through there, whether he liked it or not, and that is him cleanly up into P5 and looking to push, because Rogers is flying up in front. 6 seconds between him and Rostorm, and he is just going for it. But do remember that Rostorm doesn't need to pit again, so as long as he can stay in front of Rogers while he hasn't pit, as soon as he pits, he should come out within a pit stop. He's coming into the pits this lap, so he's going to come out behind Rogers, of course, but remember, Rogers does have to pit again, so this could get very, very interesting between the Williams and the Racing Point.
Yes, but Rostorm, the disadvantage he has is that he obligatory has to go on the hard tires, while Rogers has fresh, well, not completely fresh, but more fresher medium tires. He can try to extend and go for mediums again, or who knows, even try to go for softs maybe. We'll see. Drivers have gone certain lap old medium tires, so if we count that we are now on lap 14, 6 more laps to lap 20, then try to go for softs for the remaining 7 laps. Not impossible at all, so that's the advantage Rogers has, and that's the great disadvantage that Rostorm has, who's now 18 seconds behind the leader. Probably like 16 seconds behind Rogers. So yeah, that's plenty the disadvantage that the Rostorm has at the moment. So still Rogers looks to be the favorite to take the win today. Closing into Boss Gohan now, who still has not pitted. Womax and Boss Gohan, the only drivers at track, not having pitted at the moment. Again, we see the Ferrari fight against Iron Apple. Still Echo keeping the train, still only 5 tenths behind. This is one of the most interesting fights we have, and actually we have a big train here because Iron Apple and now Echo's going to the pit lane. Those softs weren't going to last much longer. We have the train now, Iron Apple, then comes Stick, then is John Fans, then Flash, Adam, the 5 of them. Keeping the train very close all between. John Fans has lost a bit of train there, 1.1, but he's very fast closing again, and we have now the 5-car train. And Rostorm is going to get involved in that train at any moment. He's only 1.8 behind. Much more fresher tires, hard yes, but much fresher still. And Rogers now going to fight finally to take back that lead of the race against Boss Gohan. Boss Gohan very degraded now, medium tires, very easy move done by Rogers. Rogers retakes finally after some laps, retakes the lead of the race. Have been pitted already, but still to make one more pit stop. We'll see finally how this ends. Gap between him and Rostorm is 15 seconds, 15.6 seconds. When Rogers comes out, most probably on the soft tires, he'll definitely show more pace than what Rostorm can do. But still long way to go. We still have to wait to see what finally will happen. Again, we're going to follow this fight, which is the more intense fight we have on track now. Iron Apple against Stick, against John Fans, against Flash, against Adam and Rostorm, who's going to get involved at any moment. And there, Juventino's AI actually, unfortunate there, almost to contact, blocking a bit the drivers there, and this allows John Fans to have a look and tick there. Down the inside goes John Fans. We have to say, well, Juventino not connected now, but his AI did great teamwork there to allow his teammate John Fans overtake Tick there. Not driving at the moment, Juventino, yes, but AI did the teamwork for him and allow his Mercedes teammate get in front of Tick there. Flash now having a look on Tick, but no, unable to do it. Ari Gustavo's got a 10-second time penalty, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, for some reason he's got a 10-second time penalty there. Very weird. How did that happen? No, don't know. Flesh still looking to overtake Tick, but not able to do it at the moment. And Rostorm has finally catch the train there. And his gap between the leader now, it's 16.1 seconds, so not looking good for him at the moment.
Still Rostorm in a good position. He's on the hard tyres, won't hit again so long as Rogers, doesn't do anything special, because Rogers, if he's brave, might take this to the end. Be very, 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 very close. There's John Fans looking to the inside of Pineapple, up the inside of turn 1. Very bold move to make. And that is him up into P3. Very nicely done out on Ironapple, but Ironapple looking to get himself back in front, back onto the podium. But Rostorm looking very, despite being on the harder compounded tyre, and looking very, very good to maybe still claim a good points pair position. Remember, these guys still have to pit in this race, and Rostorm doesn't, right? Because he's just going to be so much ahead that, the longer these guys prolong this stint, the shorter time period they're going to have to close the gap. But here goes Ironapple looking to get past John Fans to the inside of the chicane. Very bold on the brakes, up the inside, and John Fans can't do much to defend from that. Ironapple so committed, last of the late breakers, and back up into P3. But Rostorm, all this battle, and it's just inviting him to close. And Rostorm, I'm going to put as my favourite to win, because this strategy is audacious. The one stop is not something you often see around Paul Ricard, but it's worked for him. He's extended these tyres, he's done what he's needed to do, and he's with these guys maybe at the very least a P2. The longer these guys prolong this stint, the shorter time they're going to have to make up the time. And there's Rogers into the pit lane to try and see how far behind he is on Rogers, see the situation, because he's going to be quite far behind, I'm sure, probably around about 8 or so seconds. It's going to be a very, very tough ask to get.
Yeah, but also having to say that Rogers has shown more pace through all qualifying through the race, so that also plays in his favor and his benefit. And is now on medium tires. He's very far behind, actually. 12 seconds. No, that's the leader. His gap is 6.3 seconds. I think that's enough time for Rogers to shorten with Rostorm. Rostorm with 4-lap old hard tires, but at the end there are hard tires, so we'll see which of them, though both of them's tires get better to the end of the race. So I still keep with yellow flag on sector 1. It's Womax. Womax spun there. It's Binala for Womax there, rejoining the track there. Well, I still keep going for Rogers as favorite to win this race. Also, Iron Apple is there in front of Rostorm, so they could, if they know how to work as teammates, Iron Apple can try to hold Rostorm there behind. And well, he's with John Fans at the moment, so well, holding him a bit at the moment there. Boss Gohan, great job by him standing those medium tires, 17 lap old. He can even try to go for a soft tires maybe to... Yeah, definitely that's what he's trying to do now. And John Fans is into the pit lane now. Iron Apple staying out. He's going to try to hold Rostorm, maybe. Not sure if that's what he's thinking about, but definitely would be a good teamwork by him there. Then Rogers is 3.9 seconds only now behind Rostorm. He's closing very fast, and we'll see if Rostorm finally will be able to overtake Iron Apple or not. Racing Point team looking very fast at the moment. On board with Rostorm now, who's going to have DRS at any moment. DRS open, ERS, and DRS now for him. Looks to be going to be an easy move done by him. Similar amount of ERS, both have none actually. Iron Apple covering the inside. Rostorm gonna try to break round the outside, and oh, they make contact. Little spin by Iron Apple there, not big, but still losing some time there with Rostorm. Not sure how polemic that move was, but yeah, they made contact and Iron Apple lost plenty of time there. but this allows Rogers to be now 1.7 seconds behind Rostorm only, and he's going to be at DRS range at any moment with less than 10 laps remaining to end this French Grand Prix.
Rogers closing and closing. Oh, sorry about that, but he is closing so quickly to get into the DRS. As soon as he's in the DRS, I'm sure he's going to be closing a lot more quicker. But Ross has shown some great pace. Even a P2 finish will be remarkable. As into the pit lane, did he sustain some damage in that contact between himself and Ross? I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see. But that is his race probably virtually ruined. But Rogers with the fastest lap, he is flying and into the DRS of Ross. So this is looking like a very good couple of laps. Will Ross be able to defend for the whole 7 laps? He's rough on the energy recovery system. He has the alternate strategy, and Ross, even so, even if he doesn't win this race, is going to be looking for at least a P2 finish, because these guys are 14 seconds in front of anyone else. So Ross looking very good for a P2. Rogers just about hanging on in DRS, but not quite going to be close enough on this particular occasion. Going to have to sit back, wait, maybe save a bit of ERS to launch the attack. Goes a bit deep into the chicane of turn 8 through turn 9, and he's going to be looking to try and close the gap as quickly as he can. That's exactly what he's doing, just chipping away slowly but surely at Ross, who has gone for the one stop, and I believe it was Boss that went onto the softs. He's going to be flying towards the end of this race, and an Iron Apple down into P11 after his pit stop, which is very unfortunate to see, but things happen. Ross very desperate to get in front and very desperate to hang on, but Rogers so close to Ross, and it looks like a battle of two tyrants. We've seen these guys come together on track before. This is now for the race lead in France, and Ross on the ultimate strategy still hanging on just about. I'm sure this is only going to be putting off the inevitable though, because Rogers is flying. He's got the DRS. Is it going to be enough into turn 1? Not quite, because Ross has used a bit of ERS to use the momentum to pull the gap just a little bit further, and he's just trying to postpone the attack, try and be quick where he needs to be quick. Through these corners, he doesn't need to be as quick, he just needs to be quick off the launch of Sector 1 and off the launch of the final corner where Rogers is going to close the most, because that is the DRS zone. But it's going to be so very close, and Rogers closing and closing and closing. This is probably where it's going to be done and dusted, because Ross just isn't quick enough off these corners. He is quicker, but is it quick enough? DRS open for Rogers and Slipstream, and no ERS, so he is just sort of playing around, trying to observe it, but Ross hanging on just about for this lead of the race.
Yeah, looks Rogers is now trying to save all the ERS he can. He'll probably send the attack in the coming laps at the moment. Rostorm doesn't have any ERS actually now, and yeah, Rogers is trying to save all that he can, but he also will have to try to go for that move the quicker possible. Well, not to make it too long, because he's on the medium tires, so those tires are going to be degraded a long time faster than the hard tires. But there, Rostorm losing a bit that car there, and Ecot is into P3 now, but 15 seconds behind, very far there. But we are going to focus on the fight for the lead of the race. There is Rogers very close into Rostorm, still saving his ERS, not deploying any. Rostorm now trying to do the same. And well, if you check the chat at the Discord, my prediction was that P1 was Rogers, P2 would be Rostorm, and P3 would be Ash. So I would, if Rogers now overtakes Rostorm, I would be correcting my first two predictions. I would completely have messed it with Ash, who is P13 right now. A terrible race for him. Big accident by him at the start of the race. Messi qualifying too. And we keep following this fight for the lead of the race, which Rogers still not sending the attack at the moment. 60% ERS for him. He's probably trying to get it full. We're going to be 5 laps remaining to end this French Grand Prix. Rogers seems to be favored to win this one, but nothing is said yet. Nothing will be said till they cross the finish line at the final lap. Then following a bit, yellow flag, what's happened there? It's Tig spun there. What has happened there? safety, crossing the middle of the track there into the virtual safety car now. This will have Rogers more even to save his ERS, but also will have Rostrom to do the same. Virtual safety car, not a real safety car, with which would have changed everything completely. Only a virtual safety car, so race is going to be relaunched at any moment now. And yeah, top two are completely destroying the rest of the field now, which Eckert is now almost 19 seconds behind. Yeah, green flag again, we are racing once again. Rogers now very close, 80% ERS, is he sending the attack now? Yes he is. Looks to be, no he's not, he lost a bit of car there. Finally decided not to do so. Rostrom still deploying his ERS, not able to save much more there. And they met a bit of traffic. There is Ari Gustavo's AI, which they are overtaking now. Rostrom gets through. Oh, and Ari Gustavo's AI is going to block Rogers. No, it won't. Lets him by. So this is the most interesting thing of the race. Still, the fight for the win of the race between Rostrom and Rogers. We have a great fight also at the midfield battle for P3. Also have to say great job by Rostrom and for Rogers, keeping not getting any penalties, any of them. They are on equal conditions to fight now for this win of the race. 4 more laps remaining now, and that was Rogers going for the attack. Round the outside goes Rogers, gets the move done. P1 for Rogers finally. Wasn't expecting him to go for the move on that straight, but finally he did. I was expecting him to go for the move on the coming straight, on the big straight, but finally he has decided to do so. And he'll now most probably start to pull away from Rostrom. And that makes me happy too, not because of any favoritism, but because I got right my prediction before the race. Now looking some battles at for P3 of the race. Adam on the slipstream and DRS of Eckert. Down the inside goes Adam. Gets the move done on Eckert. P3 for Adam there. And AA Gaming fighting against Sadok there for P5 of the race. Adam looks pretty comfortable to take finally that P3 and complete that podium. No penalty for him at the moment, while everyone behind him does have a penalty. Aaron Apple has been able to fight back into P7 now. We'll see he's on fresh soft tire. We'll see if he can catch up with the drivers in front of him. Rogers now pulling away massively in front of Rostrom. Fastest lap for Rogers there. 2.5 seconds already in front of Rostrom. He's going to keep pulling away now. Oh, yellow flag tickets the end of the race. Ticks DNF the race. Remaining only 2 more laps to go, 3 more laps to go. No safety car will come out. It's just no more time for it to come out with only 3 more laps remaining. Still we have yellow flag on sector 3, now green flag again. Zach, would you like to say something?
I've just realised my mic has been muted this entire time I've been speaking, but you haven't heard me. But yeah, I've just commented on Regis. You know, he's just had such incredible pace all race long and has dominated the field. And Ross, to be fair to him, has pulled off an amazing strategy into P2, 3.1 seconds off Rogers, because to be honest, we have to all admit that was just delaying the inevitable. He was never going to be able to hang on to that. But P2 nonetheless for Ross on the alternate strategy. Very good result. Oh, BGR on the back of Adam, come into contact with the back marker of Ari Gustavo, who has disconnected. Very, very close to contact between those two there. We've also got Sadik on the back of AA Gaming, 2 on the hard, Sadik on the fresher. We're on to the penultimate lap of the race. This is looking very, very close, and we're so close to the end. John Fans with the fastest lap. It won't count as he isn't in the top 10 finish. We can go second. But DRS for Sadik isn't quite close enough to AA Gaming on this particular occasion. But all race, we have to say, as we've been treated to a nice amount of action overall, and everyone looking like they've enjoyed themselves, and it's been a good race up and down, a couple of incidents, but that's always going to happen. We've been treated to a nice little battle for the race lead, some strategical, you know, differences, which has definitely played a massive factor.
Okay, so now we are about to start the final lap of the race. Rogers starting the 27th lap of the French Grand Prix. Going to take a great win for him, just some more meters for him to take finally that win of the Paul Ricard at the French Grand Prix. He said he hated this track. I don't believe him at all now. He's just smashed the rest of the field. Now, not the only fight actually we have on track now is Sadok against AA Gaming. Everyone else has pulled a gap with the most closest car to them. So we are going to go on board with Sadok to see if he can get the move done on AA Gaming. Both on 3-second time penalties. Have 3-second time penalties, so this is for the real position. So there he goes, Sadok gonna have DRS open now. ERS also has to give it all. For some reason he's now. DRS, ERS open, gonna go down the inside, dive on by him. There goes Sadok in front of AA Gaming. AA Gaming goes a bit off the track there. But Sadok finally gets the move done. Oh, and Sadok spun, and DNF on the final lap. Very unfortunate for him. Sadok spun on his own and has DNF on the final lap of the race. Terrible for him. Very sad moment of the race, but here goes Rogers. Gonna take the win at Paul Ricard. Rogers wins the French Grand Prix. Rostorm is going to take P2 of the race. Adams going to complete the podium now. Still, there he goes. Final corner for him. Adams going to complete the podium. The only one of my prediction that I failed in. Adam takes P3 of the race. Echo's going to take P4. AA Gaming final takes P7 of the race. Boss Gohan takes P5. Flash P6. AA Gaming takes P7 of the race. Womax P8. Iron Apple, unfortunate race for him, P9. Ash also not good race for him too. Gonna take that P10. And Rostorm has been given driver of the day. I have to agree with that, but I also have to mention, well, Boss Gohan did it greatly. Medium soft, great strategy by him. Wasn't expecting to see that. And well, also obviously Rogers, who was great qualifying by him, great pace at race by him. Just pretty solid. Those would be my candidates for driver of the day. Don't know what you think, Zach.
I definitely have to say Ross. He started outside the top 10, had the alternate strategy, and just put the consistent laps in, did what he had to do. 11th to 2nd, definitely something he needs to be proud of there. So have to agree with Codemasters for once. You know, Rostorm definitely deserving of the driver of the day, and definitely deserving of that P2. Made the most of a poor qualifying and made the most of the 27 laps he had in front of him.
Okay, so finally we have just completed another day of racing at FRL. So yeah, another great race to watch. Well, again, Henry Rogers just very dominant. As last weekend we saw, the only week I remember recently where Ash was faster was on Baku, but Henry Rogers has demonstrated to be very fast on the last races we have had. So yeah, I think this is going to be all for today. So thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for the drivers for racing. Thanks also to our viewers, and we'll be back next week for the Austrian Grand Prix. For sure will be a more fun race to watch, since Austria, I think, a track everyone likes. Yeah, we are coming now into the series of track that mostly everyone likes. Austria, Silverstone, Belgium, Italy. So yeah, pretty nice races coming. So again, thank everyone for watching, for being with us today, and goodbye. See you next week.